Chapter 13 of the Saga of Ragnar Lothbrok. Now, they made plans among themselves to raid in the southern realm. Sigurd Snake in the Eye, Randalin's son, went with the brothers on every raiding journey. On this voyage, they set a course for every sizable town and conquered it, so that none withstood them. They heard about a certain town which was both large and populous, and strongly built. Ivar said that he wanted to head there. This is said about how the town was named and who ruled it. The chieftain was called Vifil, and from his name the town was called Vifilsborg. Now they harried so fiercely that they laid waste to all the towns that they encountered until they came to Vifilsborg. The chieftain was not at home in his town, and many men had gone with him. The brothers set up their tents on the plain which was next to the town. They were peaceful on the day when they came to the town, and they held a parley with the townsmen. They asked them whether they would rather give up the town, in which case peace would be granted to all, or whether they would take it by their overwhelming force and fierceness, and then no one would be offered a truce. But the townsmen dismissed them quickly and said that they would never win that town by getting them to surrender it. You must first be tested and show us your valour and eagerness. Now the night passed, and the next day they set out to conquer the town, and accomplished nothing. They surrounded the town for half a month and tried every day to conquer it, trying various strategies. But the longer they kept trying, the more distant the prospect seemed, and they intended to turn back. And when the townsmen became aware that they intended to turn back, they went out onto the town walls. They spread out bolts of costly fabric over all the walls with all of the most beautiful clothes in the town, and over them they arranged gold and the greatest treasures of the town. Now one of the soldiers spoke up and said, "We thought that these men, the sons of Ragnar, and their followers were valiant men, but we can now say that they have done no better than the others." After that they whooped at them and beat their shields and egged them on as much as they could. When Ivar heard that, it greatly affected him. He got a great sickness from this, so that he could not move, and they had to wait for him to either get better or else perish. He lay all that day till evening, not speaking a word. Then he said to the men who were near him that they should tell Bjorn, Hvitserk and Sigurd that he wanted to meet with them and all the wisest men. They all came to the same place, the greatest chieftains and their forces. Ivar asked if they had come up with any plan that was more likely to succeed than the ones they had before. They all answered that they didn't have the wit to come up with strategies that would win them victory. But now, as often before, your plan will be useful. Then Ivar answered, "One plan which we haven't tried has come into my mind. Here there is a great forest not far away. When it becomes dark, we shall leave our tents and go on to the forest in secret, but our tents shall stay behind. When we come into the woods, every man shall tie up a bundle of sticks for himself. When that is done, we shall surround the town on all sides and set the wood on fire. A huge fire will be made, and our town walls will lose their mortar from the fire. We shall then bring up catapults and test how hardy the walls are." And this was done. They went to the forest and stayed there as long as Ivar thought fit. Then they went to the town according to his plan, and when they started a great fire with the wood, there was such a great blaze that the walls could not withstand it, and they lost their mortar. Then they brought catapults to the town and tore many gaps in the walls, and now the battle began. As soon as they faced each other in battle, the townsfolk's forces fell, but some fled, and so their dealings ended. They killed every man's child in the town and took all the wealth, but burned the town before they went away.